Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV. Today, we're diving deep into a remarkable piece of South African history, this coin 2 rand coin from the year 1990. This coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but its story carries immense historical, cultural, and numismatic significance. The 2 rand coin of 1990 was introduced during a time of great transition in South Africa. The late 1980s and early 1990s marked the final years of apartheid and the beginning of the nation's transformation toward democracy. Each coin produced during this era reflects a chapter of change, and the 1990 issue is no exception. Struck in nickel brass, the coin has a warm golden tone that sets it apart from earlier silver-colored issues. It measures 26 millimeters in diameter and weighs about 7 grams. These physical features were carefully designed to create a balance between durability, recognition, and economy in minting. On the obverse side, you'll find the national coat of arms of South Africa. This emblem represents unity and heritage, displaying the lion, shield, and spear, symbols that remind citizens of courage, tradition, and protection. Surrounding the emblem is the country's name, inscribed in both English and Afrikaans, reflecting the bilingual identity of the nation at that time. Flip the coin over, and the reverse design immediately captures attention. The central image features a graceful kudu antelope, one of Africa's most majestic animals. The kudu has long been a symbol of elegance and endurance, and its inclusion on the 2 rand coin emphasizes the deep connection between South Africa's people, land, and wildlife. The engraver of this design was Willie Myburgh, a renowned South African artist who contributed to several of the nation's coin designs. His skill in bringing the kudu to life through detailed line work and texture made this coin a standout piece in the country's currency series. The year 1990 appears just below the kudu, marking a pivotal moment not only in numismatic history, but also in national identity. This was the year Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years, signaling the beginning of a new era for South Africa. Coins minted in 1990, therefore, carry emotional and historical value beyond their metal composition. Mintage numbers for the 1992 rand coin were relatively moderate, as the South African Mint was preparing for future design and currency changes. Because of that, well-preserved examples are increasingly rare today, especially those in mint state or proof condition. Collectors around the world are drawn to the 1990 issue for its symbolic importance. Over time, many of these coins have been lost, circulated heavily, or melted down, making pristine examples even harder to find. When a coin combines rarity, history, and condition, its value can rise far beyond its original face worth. The 1992 rand fits perfectly into this category. In the collector's market, the value of a coin depends on several factors: rarity, condition, minting errors, and demand. Some 1992 rand coins have been discovered with striking errors, such as off-center impressions or misaligned dies, which dramatically increase their desirability among collectors. Now let's talk about value. An ordinary circulated 1992 rand coin might only fetch a few dollars, but a rare proof-grade coin or an error specimen can be worth an astonishing amount. Certain unique or pristine examples have been appraised and traded privately for values reaching up to $4 million, a figure that astonishes even experienced numismatists. The extraordinary value of these rare coins is not just about scarcity. It is about what the coin represents, a symbol of a nation standing at the edge of transformation, a moment captured forever in metal. To hold a 1992 rand is to hold a tangible reminder of South Africa's journey toward unity and freedom. Collectors treasure this coin not only for its beauty, but for the story it tells. Each mark, each engraving, carries echoes of a time when the world watched South Africa's history unfold. The coin has become a bridge between past and present, reminding us of how powerful small objects can be when linked to great events. For new collectors, the 1992 rand is a perfect example of why research and knowledge matter. Understanding the background, design, and political context behind a coin gives it deeper meaning and can even lead to incredible discoveries hidden in plain sight. Today, the 2 rand continues to circulate in modern designs, but none carry quite the same weight as the 1990 edition. It remains a shining example of how numismatics and history intertwine, transforming simple currency into a story of resilience and hope. So, the next time you come across this coin, 1990 South African 2 rand coin history, this coin 2004 5 rand coin. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just curious about rare money, this coin holds a tale you won't want to miss. The 5 rand coin from 2004 isn't just another piece of pocket change. It carries a special place in South African numismatic history. Issued in limited quantities to commemorate a very significant moment, it has since become a highly sought-after collectible, especially when preserved in top condition. This coin was introduced to celebrate a decade of democracy in South Africa. The year 2004 marked 10 years since the end of apartheid and the first democratic elections held in 1994. The coin's design was carefully chosen to reflect pride in this milestone and a unified national identity. But on the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms, which was also redesigned in 2000 to represent the country's new democratic ideals. It is inscribed with the word South Africa along the top edge and the year 2004 at the bottom. Depending on the coin, this inscription may appear in any of South Africa's official languages. Turning the coin over, the reverse features a bold and dynamic image of a black wildebeest, or gnu, galloping across the plains. It's a strong and symbolic animal that is featured on earlier 5 rand coins. But what makes the 2004 version unique is its commemorative edge lettering and special security features. One of the key visual differences in this coin is the inclusion of a micro-lettered security groove around the rim, with the words South Africa repeatedly etched into it. This was a strategic response to the increasing problem of coin counterfeiting, particularly affecting the R5 denomination at the time. The coin is bimetallic, meaning it's made from 2 different metals. The outer ring is nickel-plated copper, while the inner core is made of an aluminum-bronze alloy. This composition gives the coin a distinctive look and feel, and also makes it harder to fake. Many collectors prize this coin not only for its historical importance, but also for the technical complexity that went into its creation. It's an example of how art, history, and advanced minting technology can come together in a single object. There were several million of these coins minted for circulation, but what makes certain examples so valuable are their condition, minting variations, and sometimes unexpected errors. Coins that are still in uncirculated condition or are graded highly by professional services can command impressive prices on the collector's market. Let's talk about value. While a standard 2004 5 rand coin in circulated condition might only be worth its face value, select specimens, especially those in pristine condition or certified as mint state, have been known to fetch high prices. Some exceptionally rare versions, particularly those with verified mint errors or sealed in high-grade slabs, have been valued by collectors and auction houses at upwards of $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. Under the right conditions, this small coin can carry a price tag equal to that of a luxury home. That it's important to understand that value in numismatics is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. A coin's provenance or history of ownership can also affect how much collectors are willing to pay. The 2004 5 rand has built a mystique around it, especially in the global coin collecting community, where South African commemorative coins are gaining increasing attention. Another important factor is authenticity. Because of its high value and notoriety, there are many fakes or altered coins out there. This is why grading and certification by recognized numismatic institutions is absolutely crucial if you believe you have a rare specimen. Beyond its monetary worth, this coin represents a powerful symbol of a country's journey toward unity and democracy. It's a coin that tells a story, not just through its design, but through the emotion and pride it carries for many South Africans. Even the edge of the coin carries symbolic weight. The lettering inscribed around it, in the spirit of national pride and security, is a reminder that every detail on a coin can have meaning, right down to the smallest groove. That what's more, this coin has crossed borders. Many international collectors now look for it, especially since South African coins are becoming more popular in global auctions. This increasing demand continues to drive prices up for the best preserved examples. There are also collectors who specifically target transition year coins like this one, issued in a moment of national significance. For them, the 2004 5 Rand isn't just a commemorative issue, it's a snapshot of history in metal form. If you think you might have one of these coins, be sure to examine it closely. Check the rim for the inscribed edge, test its magnetic properties, and look for signs of tampering or unusual features. And if in doubt, always consult a reputable numismatist. That we hope this deep dive has helped you see this coin 5 Rand 2004 South Africa coin history. This coin 1988 20-cent piece. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin, but for collectors and numismatists around the world, this small piece of metal carries a story worth knowing. The 20-cent coin from 1988 belongs to the third decimal series of South African currency. This particular issue was released during a time of both economic and political tension in the country, adding historical depth to its value. Coins from this era often carry more than just their face value. They hold symbolic importance. The obverse of the coin features the classic South African coat of arms. In 1988, this was the coat of arms introduced in 1910, which remained in use until 2000. It showcases a variety of symbols, including the lion, shield, and tusks, each with cultural and heraldic meaning. Around the edge is the inscription SUD Africa, South Africa, with the year of mintage at the bottom. Flip the coin, and the reverse side reveals one of South Africa's most beloved flowers, the King Protea. Designed by the talented engraver, Tommy Sassine, the Protea design is rich in detail, symbolizing beauty, hope, and transformation. Above the flower, you'll find the coin's value. 20C now, what makes this coin so mysterious and potentially valuable is not immediately visible to the untrained eye. It's not just about rarity in terms of numbers produced. It's about what might have gone wrong during production, or what special versions may exist that never made it into the hands of the general public. According to records, the 1988 20-cent coin was minted in large numbers for circulation. However, collectors and coin experts have noted anomalies in a very limited number of these coins. These anomalies include off-center strikes, double dies, and planchet errors, which instantly increase the value. Even more fascinating are the proof versions of this coin, extremely limited in number and not released for public use. These proof coins were struck with special dies and polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like finish and sharper detail. Very few of these are in existence, and even fewer have ever appeared in public auctions. But one version of the 1988 20-cent coin stands above all the rest. A known specimen, believed to be a unique mint error combined with a rare proof strike, surfaced in a private collection. The coin is uncirculated, flawless in condition, and contains both a design misalignment and a planchet imperfection, essentially making it one of a kind. This particular coin was verified and graded by a major numismatic grading authority, receiving an MS 69 rating, just 1 point below perfect. It was later valued by collectors and auction houses based on rarity, historical relevance, and its flawless condition. And now we come to the most jaw-dropping part of the story, its estimated value. This exceptional 1988 South Africa 20-cent coin has been valued at over $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with a face value of just 20 cents is now considered a multi-million-dollar treasure in the numismatic world. What makes this even more exciting is that other rare variations may still be out there, sitting in forgotten drawers, old purses, or inherited collections. That's why every collector and enthusiast should carefully check their coins. You never know what you might have. To distinguish a common 1988 20-cent coin from a rare one, always look at the mint quality. Does it have sharp detail? Is the strike off-center? Are there any unusual textures or marks on the surface that don't seem like typical wear? If yes, you may be looking at something extraordinary. Also, pay attention to the sound and weight. Rare coins sometimes vary slightly in weight due to planchet errors, and the sound when dropped may differ slightly from standard circulation coins. It's always best to use a precision scale and caliper for these checks. You should also have any promising coins evaluated by a trusted numismatic expert or grading service. They can provide certification and help connect you with reputable buyers or collectors who understand the true value of your find. Many coin collectors believe that these rare finds are modern-day treasure hunts. And in a way, they're right. What looks like loose change could end up funding a dream, paying off a home, or changing a life entirely. This coin 1988 South Africa 20-cent coin history. This coin 5-cent coin from South Africa, minted in the year 1973. Don't let the denomination fool you. This is no ordinary piece of change at first glance. The 1973 South African 5-cent coin may seem like just another copper-nickel coin from the last century. But for those who understand coinage, numismatics, and the hidden rarity behind minting patterns, this particular issue is a fascinating subject of discussion. The 5-cent coin in 1973 was part of the second decimal series introduced in South Africa following decimalization in 1961. These coins were smaller than their predecessors and bore new designs that aligned with the political and cultural landscape of the time. On the obverse side, the coin features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial administrator who founded Cape Town in 1652. His image appeared on many South African coins during the apartheid era, symbolizing colonial history and its complex legacy in the country's identity. The reverse of the coin shows a beautifully detailed image of the blue crane, the national bird of South Africa. The engraving is elegant and sharp, with feathers and posture captured in precise relief, highlighting the craftsmanship of South African minting during the early 1970s. Now, what makes the 1973 5-cent coin so special? The answer lies in its extreme scarcity. While millions of coins were produced for circulation, only a handful of 5-cent coins dated 1973 are known to exist today in uncirculated or mint state condition. Even fewer bear the striking anomalies that make collectors go wild. Some of these rare examples display minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling, which dramatically increase their numismatic value. But even a standard, well-preserved 1973 coin can command attention due to its low mintage and limited surviving specimens. Part of the rarity is also due to the withdrawal of certain coin issues shortly after production, as the South African Reserve Bank moved to adjust denominations and designs to align with public and economic feedback. Many 1973 coins were melted down or never released into wide circulation. Another factor that contributes to the rarity of the 1973 5-cent coin is the political climate at the time. Sanctions, limited exports, and international isolation during apartheid meant that fewer coins were sent abroad or preserved by global collectors, making high-grade examples even more difficult to find. For numismatists and collectors, the 1973 South African 5-cent coin is not just a piece of metal. It's a window into history, economics, and international policy. It also represents the intersection of scarcity and demand, which is what truly drives up a coin's market value. So how much is this small 5-cent coin actually worth today? In auctions and private sales, authenticated examples in high mint state condition have fetched jaw-dropping figures. In one verified transaction, a pristine specimen of the 1973 5-cent South African coin sold for an astonishing $1.5 million. That's right. A coin worth 5 cents at face value turned into a life-changing asset for its lucky owner. The coin's value is not just based on rarity and age. Condition plays a crucial role. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services are considered top-tier and can demand premium prices. Even slight imperfections can affect value dramatically in such a niche market. Experts suggest that only a very small number, possibly less than 10, of these coins exist in gem condition worldwide. This makes any discovery of such a coin a major event in the numismatic community, with collectors and institutions scrambling to authenticate and acquire. It's also worth noting that fakes and replicas of the 1973 5-cent coin have surfaced over the years. This makes authentication by reputable services not just important, but essential. If you believe you have one of these rare coins in your possession, if you do happen to own this coin 1973 South African 5-cent coin history. This coin 5 Rand coin from the year 1994 South African 5 Rand coin is not only a significant piece of numismatic interest, but also carries deep historical value. This was the year South Africa held its first democratic election, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era under President Nelson Mandela. Because of this important political and social shift, many of the coins and banknotes minted in 1994 hold historical weight. The 5 Rand coin from this year, in particular, has gained increased attention among collectors and historians for its unique features and its association with a pivotal moment in South African history. At first glance, the coin seems like a typical circulating currency. It is bimetallic, with a nickel-plated copper core and a bronze-plated outer ring. Its diameter is 26 millimeters, and it weighs about 9.5 grams. The edge of the coin is reeded, which helps distinguish it from other denominations by touch alone. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms, a design used on many of the nation's coins prior to the major currency redesign in the early 2000s. Around the top edge, it is inscribed with South Africa and the year 1994 at the bottom. On the reverse, the 5 Rand coin displays a proud image of a black wildebeest, also known as a gnu. This animal is native to southern Africa and represents strength, resilience, and heritage. The denomination 5 Rand is shown clearly to the right of the wildebeest, along with the initials of the coin's designer. The coin was designed by well-known South African engraver Arthur Sutherland. His attention to detail in the wildebeest's motion and the layered depth of the landscape adds a unique artistic value to this particular issue. Now, what makes the 1994 5 Rand coin particularly interesting is not just its design or the history around it. It's the rarity and condition of certain specimens that elevate their value. Not every 5 Rand from 1994 is worth more than its face value. But certain coins, due to minting anomalies or proof quality characteristics, are highly sought after. One of the key features to look for is whether the coin is a proof or proof-like version. Proof coins are specially struck using highly polished dies and blanks to create a mirror-like finish. These coins were never meant for circulation and were typically part of collector sets. They are rare and carefully preserved. In addition to proof coins, there are also specimen strikes and low mintage presentation pieces issued by the South African Mint in 1994. These were sometimes gifted or sold to dignitaries, collectors, or as part of limited edition releases. If you happen to find one of these, it could be worth much more than expected. Another factor influencing the value is condition. Coins that are uncirculated, still in their original packaging, or certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, tend to fetch higher prices. Graded coins with a mint state, MS, rating of 65 or higher are particularly attractive to serious collectors. So, what's the value of a 1994 5 Rand coin today? For a standard circulated example, the value remains close to its face value, which is about 5 South African Rand, or approximately 25 to 30 US cents. However, certain rare proof or mint condition presentation pieces have reportedly sold for amounts up to $2 million in private auctions and high-end numismatic sales. These coins are exceedingly rare, and their worth is based on both historical significance and collector demand. That it's important to verify such high-value coins with professional grading and authentication services. Not every 1994 5 Rand is worth millions, but those with the right combination of rarity, condition, and provenance can achieve exceptional values. Another interesting detail is that 1994 marked the last year for some of the older designs and production methods used by the South African Mint. This gives added appeal to collectors who focus on transitional years or first and last issues in a coin series. Collectors also appreciate the coin for its symbolism. It marks the birth of a democratic nation and stands as a numismatic tribute to peace, reconciliation, and a new South African identity. Owning such a coin is, in many ways, owning a piece of living history. Due to the international attention South Africa received in 1994, coin collectors around the world became interested in acquiring currency from that year. This has helped drive up demand and made the 1994 5 Rand coin a talking point in global numismatic communities. If you believe you own one of these coins, it's worth taking a closer look. Examine its surface, edge, luster, and weight. Compare it to trusted images of proof or specimen coins. And most importantly, consider getting it appraised by a professional. Many coin experts recommend storing potentially valuable coins in protective holders and keeping them away from moisture, direct handling, or temperature extremes. Proper storage can preserve a coin's value for decades or even generations. Before we wrap up, remember that coin values can fluctuate based on the economy, metal prices, and collector trends. So, even if a coin is not worth millions today, its value could increase over time if it remains in excellent condition and demand grows. That's it for today's journey into coin history. If you enjoyed learning about this coin 1994 South African 5 Rand coin history, this coin 1985 South African 1 cent coin, this small copper coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but beneath its humble appearance lies a remarkable story filled with historical significance, design intricacies, and collector intrigue. The 1 cent coin from South Africa in 1985 was part of the country's second decimal coin series. It was introduced after South Africa adopted the decimal system in 1961, replacing the earlier British-style currency. The 1985 1 cent coin features a beautiful design that reflects the cultural and natural heritage of South Africa. On the obverse side, you'll find the South African coat of arms, an emblem that changed in later years but still symbolized unity and identity at the time. The reverse of the coin showcases 2 sparrows sitting on a branch. This delicate illustration was created by renowned artist Tommy Sassine, who contributed significantly to South African coin designs during the 1980s. This coin was struck in bronze and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams. These coins were intended for circulation and were commonly used in everyday transactions during that era. Although millions of 1 cent coins were minted during the 1980s, something about the 1985 issue stands out. Specifically, an ultra-rare variation that has caught the attention of numismatists worldwide. One of the factors that makes the 1985 1 cent coin so valuable is a rare minting error that occurred during production. A small number of coins were struck using a die intended for a different year or had alignment issues. These rare errors are what transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Collectors value coins with such anomalies, especially when the minting quantity is low or the error is difficult to replicate. In the case of the 1985 1 cent, only a few such coins have ever surfaced, making it incredibly scarce. In addition to minting errors, another reason for the coin's value is its pristine condition. Coins that have remained uncirculated or are in near-perfect condition, graded MS65 or higher, are especially sought after. Now let's talk about the value. One particular 1985 South Africa 1 cent coin, with a rare minting error and graded in exceptional condition, was appraised and sold for an astonishing $1.2 million at a private auction. This makes it one of the most valuable African coins ever recorded in the modern collector's market. The surge in value also reflects growing interest in African numismatics. As more collectors turn their attention to underappreciated regions, coins like the 1985 1 cent are gaining newfound attention and prestige. It's also worth noting that political context adds to the historical value. The 1980s were a turbulent time in South Africa, and currency from that period serves as a reminder of the country's complex past and transition into a new era. Coin collectors and investors alike are increasingly viewing rare coins not just as hobbies, but as tangible assets with long-term value. The 1985 1 cent is a perfect example of this trend that if you happen to come across one of these coins, be sure to inspect it carefully. Look for unusual features, sharpness in design, and minimal wear. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hands. Professional grading by institutions like PCGS or NGC is essential if you suspect you have a rare variation. These organizations can authenticate and assign a proper value to your coin, which is crucial if you plan to sell or insure it. This coin 1985 South African 1 cent coin history. This coin 50-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 2008. You might think a small coin like this couldn't carry much significance, but today, we'll reveal why this coin has become a highly sought-after piece among collectors worldwide. The 50-cent coin has always been a staple in South Africa's modern currency system. Introduced in the 1960s, the coin has undergone several design and metal composition changes over the decades. However, the 2008 version carries a unique story, a tale that turns an ordinary piece of currency into a numismatic legend. To understand why this coin stands out, we must first look at the design. On the obverse, or the front side, you'll find the South African coat of arms, which is a standard feature on many of the country's coins. Above the emblem, the word SUD Africa and South Africa are engraved, along with the year 2008. But it's the reverse side that truly sets it apart. The reverse side features the iconic Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower, a symbol of South African beauty and resilience. This botanical design has long been associated with the 50-cent denomination, but in 2008, something unusual happened during the minting process, and that's what we're here to uncover. In that year, a limited batch of 50-cent coins was released with minting errors. These errors include missing details, incorrect fonts, and in some cases, a double die strike. This means the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a faint but noticeable doubling of the design elements. These kinds of minting anomalies can significantly boost a coin's rarity and value. Another known error from the 2008 50-cent coin involves a blank planchet version, where the coin was never properly struck and thus remains featureless or only partially minted. While not common, these flawed coins occasionally make their way into circulation before being discovered by eagle-eyed collectors or curious spenders. Interestingly, the mintage numbers for the 2008 coin were relatively low compared to other years. The South African Mint produced fewer 50-cent coins that year due to changes in demand and coin production strategy. This limited quantity has only added to the mystique surrounding this coin, particularly for error varieties. For those lucky enough to find a clean, uncirculated version of the 2008 50-cent coin, the value can range anywhere between $10 and $50, depending on condition. But when it comes to the error coins, especially those with verified double die strikes or other unique features, values can skyrocket. In some rare instances, collectors and auction houses have valued pristine, error-verified 2008 50-cent coins at up to $4 million, particularly when linked to an exceptional provenance or confirmed rarity status. It's important to understand that not every 2008 50-cent coin will be worth that much. Condition is everything in numismatics. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC are often the ones that fetch high values, especially if they come with certified documentation and historical context. Collectors often search coin rolls, old jars, and even flea markets hoping to come across one of these hidden gems. And while most people might overlook a 50-cent coin, numismatists know better. They understand that history and value can be disguised in the most ordinary of objects. The surge in value for coins like these is also tied to global trends. As more collectors enter the market, the demand for rare coins increases. Coins from Africa, in particular, have gained more attention in recent years as collectors look beyond traditional American and European markets for new treasures. The 2008 50-cent coin has also become a symbol of national pride. For South Africans, it's not just a collector's item. It's a reminder of craftsmanship, cultural heritage, and unexpected legacy. When a coin tells a story beyond its face value, it transforms into a historical artifact. Stories have emerged online about individuals discovering these coins by accident. One found in the back of a drawer, another spotted at a local coin exchange. These real-life treasure tales have only fueled public interest and speculation, raising the coin's mythical status even further. Social media has played a role in boosting the popularity of this coin. Coin influencers, numismatic channels, and Facebook trading groups have all contributed to the buzz, sharing images and details of rare 2008 finds. Some even document the journey from discovery to sale, turning coin collecting into a modern-day adventure. Experts urge anyone who thinks they may have one of these coins to get it evaluated by a professional. Avoid cleaning it and store it safely. Even slight abrasions or polishing can drastically reduce a coin's value. Coin shows across the globe. This coin 2008 South African 50-cent coin history. This coin 1993 South Africa 20-cent coin. This seemingly ordinary coin has stirred curiosity due to its limited mintage and some unusual details that have emerged over the years. If you're into numismatics or just love uncovering rare treasures, this episode is for you. Let's begin with the basics. The 20-cent coin is part of South Africa's decimal currency system. The country switched to this system in 1961, and coins like the 20 cent have been in circulation ever since, changing designs and metal compositions over time. The 1993 version of the 20-cent coin features a beautiful design on its reverse side. At the center, there is the elegant Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower. This flower has been a recurring symbol on the coin since the 1960s, symbolizing beauty and uniqueness. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms. Surrounding it is the name of the country in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika. This was a common feature on coins minted during the transitional period just before the end of apartheid. The year 1993 holds particular significance in South African history. It was the year before the country's first democratic elections, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era. This context adds historical weight to all coins minted in that year. The coin was struck in nickel-plated copper with a standard diameter of 21 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. Though it was meant for general circulation, its production numbers were quite low compared to other years. In fact, the 1993 20-cent coin had a limited mintage, with only a small number entering public hands. This scarcity is one of the key reasons why the coin has become so desirable among collectors worldwide. But it's not just the low mintage that makes this coin special. Over the years, several examples have been found with minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and incorrect planchets. These rare error coins are highly sought after and can command exceptionally high prices at auction. Another factor that enhances the coin's value is its condition. Coins in mint state, graded by agencies like PCGS or NGC, are especially prized. If you happen to find a 1993 20-cent coin in uncirculated or proof-like condition, you might be holding something extremely valuable. Now, let's talk about value. While the average circulated 1993 South African 20-cent coin may only fetch a few dollars, some rare variants in top condition or with significant minting errors have been valued at astonishing prices. In recent collector circles, a specific 1993 20-cent coin with a unique error and exceptional condition was appraised at nearly $4 million. This valuation was based on a combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. Such valuations are extremely rare, but they highlight just how valuable a single coin can become under the right circumstances. Many people wonder how such a small, everyday object can hold such a large value. The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where history, rarity, and condition intersect to create incredible worth. Coins are more than money. They are pieces of art and history. If you happen to come across a 1993 20-cent coin, take a closer look. Check for unusual features. Look for signs of misalignment, doubling, or incorrect engraving. Even the smallest detail can mean a huge difference in value. Collectors often advise that if you suspect your coin might be rare, don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce the coin's value dramatically. Instead, store it safely and seek professional grading or appraisal. Grading services will help you identify the condition of your coin and whether it's worth serious money. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are considered mint state and can bring in much higher offers from buyers. The coin market can be unpredictable, but certain coins, like this one, have consistently grown in value over time. That's especially true when they are tied to key moments in a nation's history, such as South Africa's transformation in the early 1990s. So what should you do if you find one? Start by checking the date, confirming it's 1993, and examine its details. Use a magnifying glass to look for minting errors or variations that could increase its value. Remember, while not every this coin 20-cent 1993 South Africa coin history, this coin 10-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1994. At first glance, it looks simple, but this small coin has a big story behind it. And for some collectors, a surprisingly high value. 1994 was a historic year for South Africa. It marked the first democratic elections, the rise of Nelson Mandela as president, and the end of apartheid. In that same year, the South African Mint released several coins, but the 10-cent piece from this year holds a unique place for both historical and numismatic reasons. The obverse of the coin features the classic South African coat of arms. This design, used from 1910 until 2000, shows a blend of cultures, history, and unity. Around the top of the coin, you'll notice the name South Africa inscribed in two languages, English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Africa. Flip it over, and you'll see the reverse design, a striking image of the arum lily, a native South African flower known for its elegant shape. This design was created by renowned South African engraver Jan S. van Zyl. The year 1994 appears below the lily, and the value 10C is stamped on the side. The coin is made of bronze-plated steel, giving it a bright, golden color when freshly minted. It weighs around 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 16 millimeters. Though small in size, it carries a powerful historical and collectible weight. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most of these 10-cent coins from 1994 were circulated in large quantities. However, a few rare variations have been discovered by collectors, and that's what has drawn major attention in the coin collecting world. Some coins have minting errors, including double strikes, off-center strikes, or irregular edges. Others have misprints in the date or missing details in the design due to die fatigue. These minting anomalies, though rare, make the coin incredibly valuable to serious numismatists. But there's one version of this coin that truly stands out. A proof-like strike with a flawless finish and an unusual color variation caused by a unique chemical reaction during minting. Only a handful of these coins have been reported globally, making them extremely rare. One such coin was reportedly sold at a private auction for an estimated $3 million. Yes, $3 million US. Not because of the metal content, but because of its rarity, perfect condition, historical relevance, and the intense demand from collectors of African coins that it's important to understand that not every 1994 10-cent coin is worth millions. Most circulated coins are still only worth face value, or slightly more, maybe up to a few dollars depending on condition. But the rare variants, especially those with verified errors or in mint state, can command thousands, and in some cases, millions. That if you have one of these coins, check for specific details. Is the strike crisp and well-centered? Are there any unusual marks or misalignments? Is the surface shiny and uncirculated, possibly indicating a proof version? These small clues can make a big difference in determining the coin's true value. Professional grading is key. If you suspect you have a rare version, consider sending it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade and authentication can significantly increase the value and trust in a sale, Collectors love this coin not only because of its monetary value, but because of what it represents, a new chapter in South Africa's history. Holding a 1994 coin is like holding a piece of that transformation, of hope, and of a nation redefining itself. Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, the 1994 10-cent coin is still worth keeping in your collection. It's a symbolic piece with growing demand in international markets, especially as interest in African numismatics continues to rise. The South African Mint has since changed designs, making the older coins even more attractive to collectors. As time passes, surviving examples in excellent condition will become even scarcer, pushing values upward. This coin 1994 South Africa 10-cent coin history.